Mackenzie from Canterbury Trails Farm. Today I'm making a cross-stitch Valentine garland that was based on, I think they were just like vintage Valentines. They were in the Keepsake 2019 calendar, cross-stitch calendar, made by Craftways. And any picture that you find that you like would do. They had this one, but I didn't do this one because it's a bigger one. So I selected two images. So you could do this with any holiday cross-stitch pattern that you like, that you could make smaller. Like you could do snowflakes, or you could do Christmas stockings. You could do anything that I found to be a neat pattern. I chose these vintage Valentines to do the Valentine's ones. And what I did, and I used, instead of regular cross-stitch fabric, I used the stiff needlepoint fabric. And it's not a plastic, you could do plastic canvas too, I guess, if you wanted to, but stiffer needlepoint fabric. So it's got a little bit of stiffness to it. I originally was going to do 8, but I've been working on these in between other projects, so each one of these took about a week. I ended up with 5, so I ended up with 3 boys and 2 girls, which works out well in the placement on the garland. So I chose the image I want, and I cross-stitched the number of them I want. Like I said, you pick how, probably based on the size. If you're doing smaller snowflakes or smaller somethings, you're probably going to need more of them in order to have a significant garland kind of thing. But since these are about 6 inches by 4 inches, so it's a nice little size. Cross-stitched my designs, and I'm going to be backing it. I back each one with felt, and then I also have the stiffer felt left over from some projects from last year. I like to use up my stuff before I buy new stuff. So this needlepoint fabric had actually been sitting in my cabinet since I was about 22 years old, so that's been about 30 years. So it got used up, so yay. These are left over from last year's felt heart project. So, and I also used the red ones on when I recovered and redecorated the divider screen, or the privacy screen, when we did the vintage Valentines printed on fabric. So I had some of those left. So what I'm using to sear the cross stitch to the felt are these adhesive sheets by Scrapbooks Adhesives. I'm not wild about these. In fact, I actually hate them, but I had them left over from another project and I didn't want to have to buy something new, so this is what we've got. It's more of an adhesive that's more appropriate for paper and scrapbooking, obviously, given the name. But it does a fair, decent job sticking to the fabric, the needlepoint fabric. So first of all, I'm going to put and you just need like something like a roller, or if you have a burnisher, or I don't know, whatever. I just grabbed this small loom. You just need something that's hard and has a flat edge. You can really rub that adhesive into your stitching. Hopefully most of the adhesive, there's enough on there to... I'm just putting it onto the felt. Okay. And then I'm also going to be sticking, so I actually went and cut a pattern out of paper so I didn't have to keep measuring to make my adhesive shape for it to go on the back of here. So I used the adhesive to put it on the felt, and now I'm going to use the adhesive to secure the felt to the felt heart. The reason why I also chose these stiffer felt hearts because they have these cutout hearts on the edges, and that's where I'm going to use to thread the ribbon that we're going to hang it on through those hearts, so I won't have to make any additional cuts. Okay, so here we go. Now, I thought it was sort of funny. If you're if you do multiples of everything, since everything is obviously one of a, you've done it by hand, you're going to get variations. And you can see slight variations if I did things slightly different, or if I missed a row and got a little higher. He looks pretty evil. I don't know how he turned out. They look okay. He looks happier than he does, but I don't know how he turned out so evil. Notice I accidentally went down one row instead of up on the little girl, and I did their eyebrows different. I didn't like the way the original eyebrows were, so I changed them. So it did alter the appearance just a little bit. So you can see that how it can be slightly off just by how you, and I also did the dirt or whatever, the sunflower is a little different. All right, so I'm going to do boy, girl, boy, girl, boy. I have just cut, I'm not going to give dimensions because obviously your project might be different size or different length. So this is just, you're going to have to judge how long you want the garland to be based on also the size of your cross stitch. So I'm just going to thread them or find sort of a central location, and I'm going to be threading it behind the heart, and see how you can just feed it right through those holes. I'm not going to cut it or trim it because some other day or some other time I might decide to hang it somewhere else. So let me see if I can back up here. So there is our garland. And like I said, you can choose any design that you would like for really any holiday, from Christmas to Halloween to whatever you want to do. You could also do birthday cakes and make a really cute birthday garland. It's just really, obviously the most of the work is in your needlepoint, and like I said, I just worked on these between projects and they weren't really complex or anything. And you can just select, you could even select part of an image if there's something on there that you think would be good for whatever garland you choose to make. So this is just a good idea for a crafty holiday garland, and I hope this helps you get thinking about what you could make for whatever purpose you think you need your holiday garland for. So this has been Angie from Canterbury Trails Farm, and thank you for joining us. Bye.